it again. We don't know who and who are going to be given this. What was mentioned in the address doesn't give me a hope, because in transportation you have 3,000 coming. If you divide it by 36, how many should be going to each state? Maybe 100 thereabouts. 100 to each state. Am I right, mathematicians?
On the average, it's not.
So it's not up to. But then, so who do you? Is it going to be run by government, or give it to who are the transport companies that government is talking? Is it the NURT? Is it the Retan? And how many can?
No, they bear a new name now. Park Management Service or so.
In different places, not all. Not all. I think it's only here, Lagos and Oyo. Yes, the others they go by those 100. Now let's take, even as my better mathematicians have told me, it's not even up to 100 per each state. And if you want to calculate, there are certain states you can't compare Kano and Ibadan. You can't compare them or show in terms of traffic. So some will get 100, others will come to about 70, etc. How many would you distribute in a state, compact state like Osun? If you give us 70 buses, how many? How many will come to Osogbo? How many will go to Elisha and things like that? So this, I think they have to sit and think through it
and work
out the modalities. It's not even immediate, because before you bring these vehicles, it takes some 1 month or so to on sea in transit. So it's not an immediate thing. What I think the president, in everything that he said, as good as they are, one thing he has consistently refused to say is what bothers me: the willingness of government to say we are pruning down, we are cutting down costs, etc. Everything appears to be being pushed on us.
On the masses.
On the masses. The government, the presidency, the Senate, none has thought it wise to say we are cutting down our emoluments by 40%, by 30%, even by 10%. They have not said it. And that, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't go down well with the people. We want to be assured. All these things you are telling us, none of them is with immediacy. Everything, well, each of them 1 month
will take time.
Yeah, it will take time. If you said the government, I as president am cutting my this thing by half, people will applaud you. They will know that you have done something in the immediate. The Senate, I know the presidency hasn't got the right to declare or decree for the National Assembly, but call the leadership and tell them, look, this is what the presidency wants to do. What is the legislature doing? Then you say it and let Nigerians come to tell, oh, our leaders are also doing what is right.
Okay. On that note, I want us to look at this. Mr. President has consistently said he feels our pains. He understands what Nigerians are going through. And in this broadcast, he also said that anyway. He said his government has saved over 1 trillion naira from fuel subsidy in 2 months. If we are suffering, why are you saving money?
Yeah, I think saving money to do all the things that he's talking about.
Yeah.
He has a lot of things to do. So you just have to say, you cannot just take that money and just start spending like that. No. People will tell you that it's too hasty. You have to plan if you want to spend anything at all. And so that's why he said we have saved this much to
save this month from stopping
subsidy. So we can use this money. So we can use this money to better the economy, to inflate the economy. That's exactly what he has to do. But one thing that I fail to understand here is that there are about 3 or 4 things. One, that's what I said. He has not talked to us about what are we cutting down on our own side.
Sacrifice.
That's number one. I know the legislature might be saying that if you are being inflated, you workers and everybody are being inflated, you cannot be reflating. But if you don't want to reflate, then stay where you are. Don't just take 70 billion and start buying exotic cars with 70 billion. That kind of thing will not go down with anybody in the masses. That's number one. Number two, there's no way the president wants to inflate the economy and want to make things better for the ordinary Nigerians. without first of all looking at the naira and the dollar. If you are not looking at that, we are just wasting our time. No matter how many refineries we have in Nigeria today, it will still boil down on the dollar against the naira, and we still be buying at high costs. So that's number two. Number three, if you are talking about refineries, look at most countries. Most oil producing countries have refineries. The one that has the least is one. America has over 200. And so Nigeria here, we say we are oil producing nation. Yes, we don't have a refinery functioning. Why don't you go modular in that sense? There are so many of these refinery areas that people are ready to go modular. Go modular, license them, control them. That way, the price of petrol will come down a little bit, if not much.
At least to those who are in that vicinity.
Yes. It will even go beyond that vicinity to regulate it. It will go beyond that vicinity to regulate it very well. And so, you are talking about that. So, when we keep talking about this economy, if you don't do these things, there's no way we can have a very sound economy the way we are going. And that will be very sad. With all the hues and cries from the masses, we will not get anywhere. So, all the things that are laid down now, they are middle and long term measures. They won't solve a problem in the immediate thing.
Larry, 200 billion naira for agric interventions, 75 billion naira to strengthen manufacturing sector. We have been complaining about all this, that we have become a consuming nation. We are not producing anything. 75 billion naira. Now, to what extent can this go?
No, it's for instance, for agriculture, 200 billion, wonderful idea, but this business mindset is whittling down on whatever effects we expect. One, you're talking about taking that straight lump sum to go into agriculture, but you're not talking about some of the reasons why those agricultural projects failed. There's insecurity there. There was no mention of. You want to take another 200 billion. The Buhari administration spent much more than that on party rights and all of this. But people wanted to really genuinely do it. One did not get access to the money. A few ones that did could not go to farm to do whatever they want to do because bandits are everywhere. Irefun is here in Osun State. Somebody was kidnapped, a pensioner was kidnapped on his farm. They were asking for a ransom of 30 million from the family. Please, what type of farm would a pensioner have that will now make him able to pay that kind of money? So some of these things
maybe his cheeks was as robust as your own.
Well, it might just be concentrated with life.
Robust or something that you have.
And eating by.
So if we don't change.
If you don't address security as an emergency, declare war on insecurity, then you cannot get a seamless entry into the farmlands. They enter from Niger State to better part of Zamfara is vast landmass that will be used for agricultural purposes. But the people could not go there.
And if you have to go, you have to pay tax.
Yeah. Now they are paying tax to miscreants, and so non-state actors. The government did not, in one line, address that issue that the army has been told to frontally face these people and wait as a war. It's a war situation.
No, but he said something. He said they are facing those people and that they are winning the war.
We heard enough of that during the. I said this is an emergency. In an emergency,
to some extent, you may not say it loudly that we are
because the security
you are preparing their minds. You get to them by surprise, but I'm not holding
attack is the best form of
whatever I think that you used to give him some 6 months before you can draw something.
All of us would have died of hunger all of these things are futuristic. In 2024 we will address this. By 2024, what do we do from now till then? They are long-term issues. We can't survive thinking that way. Now look at this agricultural thing. I tell you, I was part of people who said, "Oh, bring business plan. I have an account with the so-called NSRL, whatever." No, nothing was given. No. So people who are wrong people are the ones that have always been getting the so-called. We are putting this fund into whatever. What should be done? Youths are unemployed. Instead of taking them to the army, like it was said during the campaign, engage all of them in this agricultural project. Let it be government. It has emergency. If you are a graduate of engineering, come. We'll give you a job, but it's going to be in agricultural sector. Go and do your engineering. You help them to put tractors, repair them, let them go and do farmlands for people. If you are a graduate, you will collect a graduate pay. But there is employment here. That will be food production from the country.
For comfortable home.
All those rail lines in the past was for moving food stores and rest to the shores of Nigeria to export. We don't have food exports again. We are leaving agriculture behind. We are selling money. I didn't see any frontal attack on this issue of foreign currency. It will keep going up. That is the reality. It will keep going up because you are not producing anything and there is nothing of value that you want to pay out, export and raise this foreign currency. Secondly, recently, maybe last week, another modular refinery was bombed again. Why are you destroying these things? Let's find out what they can come up with. Look, there must be a commitment. We are talking about buses. During Shopi, maybe the 1 trillion they said they saved. During Shopi of Jonathan, the money immediately saved on removal of subsidy was used to get buses. They are not giving it to associations that want to go and do business with it. If you give it to people that want to do business on 9%, you are already making it mercantile. They want to make money. Saudi Arabia has oil. It tells the citizens, if you want to go to work, you go free. If you want to go to school, you go free. By even public transportation is free. But you that you want to use your car, whatever price they are selling petrol, that's your identity issue. You want to be a big man, show the nation that you are one. But the citizens must benefit from this oil that is coming from the soil of their land. So if you say we want to give buses, you are now saying, as they call them park managers that we knew were NURTW, that we knew were, so we know what they were. So you tell them they will pay 9% and they won't tell you they will make profit from whatever. It's still business minded. It's not service oriented. If it's service oriented, okay, students will go free to school.
The removal of payment of subsidy on petrol had increased the revenue. Our government now has more than enough. Or have made savings very big way. And this has also reflected in the